Hello and welcome to another beautiful day in the Austrian Alps. Today I'm working on the Mini again. If you've seen the last video, you've seen the new wheels, and I can happily report they are just as gorgeous and perfect as I thought they would be. They fit very nicely and they give the Mini, because of the silver color, such a nice touch that it really does stand out once again. Today I'm doing a couple of modifications on the Mini, because the Mini has seen better days and there's just a couple of things that are breaking or fading due to age. So let's fix a couple of things on the Mini. Whenever something breaks on the Mini, I like to replace the part with something that is of better quality or that even increases performance or durability or whatsoever. One of these things, for instance, is the turbo hose. Now on the Mini, the turbo hose, the original one, is made of some kind of plastic, and over time it becomes brittle and just falls apart. And this is what happened to my Mini, and so I needed to replace it. To replace it, I got the MTC Motorsport turbo hose, and it is made from silicone. Let's install that. Alright, so the first thing we're changing is this turbo hose. You can see it goes from the air filter straight to the turbo. It also has a little part here, and this is going to be replaced from here all the way to here and here. And the MTC Motorsport turbo hose looks like this, and it should fit perfectly according to them. So let's take this one out. And I'll be using a couple of tools for that. First of all, I'll just unscrew this one right here and this one, and then this clamp I'll have to take off with the pliers. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the problem is right here. This hose clamp is quite tight, but in between here there's nothing. It's completely brittle and it's fallen apart. So it's not tight anymore, and it's not really, it's not performing well anymore. So time to replace it. And I'll just see if I can get this clamp off with this one, these pliers. Yeah, it works perfectly. So you can see it's so brittle. Almost looks like it melted. Yeah. So that's one. Let me just get this cap out of the way too. So I'm just trying to get this off. I think it just has to pop on this side. Yeah, there we go. And that's the whole thing out. Let's take a look at it. Yeah. This is a completely broken, brittle, rubberish plastic. I don't know, half plastic, half rubber. But it did in any case have to go. Yeah. But other than that, it was in fine condition actually. It had been on the Mini for 13 years now, so it's about time things start breaking. And as I said, I really like to replace broken parts with better parts, so that's why I got this silicone turbo hose, and it's from the company MTC Motorsport, and it's just silicone, so it should be more resistant to really anything. Most of all, it shouldn't be able to, become brittle and break like the previous part. So this is the mass airflow sensor, so that's why this part has to stay on. But from what I know, this part should be just plug and play. And they did give me 3 new hose clamps as well, which will hopefully fit perfectly. Alright, so I've got the new hose clamps right and ready to go on here. I'll just position them so I'm easily able to close them. This one I'll swap around. Yep, so they're all on the same side. Alright, and then it's just a matter of fitment. Okay, I'll try to get the part at the turbo first. And the good part about getting a silicone hose is that it's somewhat flexible. So it doesn't actually have to be a perfect fit. Should I move it a bit further up actually? It isn't super nicely positioned. So I'm perfectly flush. But that is plenty tight, I think. All right. Yeah, it's looking good. That's looking good. Okay, I was just thinking, this part does not really fit perfectly over here because of this. It can't. Oh, it can't fit because of this part. It's just in the way. So there's just a piece missing. And I looked at the original one, and it's this part. I figured if I can get it out, yeah. And I should be able to just use it again. There were no instructions, so I don't know. I'm just doing what I think is right. But if this fits in there, that should be perfect. Yeah, I think it'll work like this. Yep, would probably have made more sense to put it this side. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. Because here it'll be in the way of that. Just pop it on like that. There we go. All right, that's on there. Yep. Looking pretty good, I think, now. So here is where the turbo was, where the turbo hose was broken, and now with the new silicone it fits nicely. And also at the top, it's looking quite good, I think. And right here. Yeah. Alright, the first install is done. That was pretty quick and easy, just replacing the turbo hose with the silicone one, and I think it looks quite nice. You can choose different colors, but I opted for black just because I didn't want it to really stand out, because the blue wasn't the same blue that I always have, so I decided just a nice sleek black. So far it's looking good. I will tell you, of course, how it performs over time and if it really is as durable as they say it is. Let's continue with the next modification. The next change I'm doing to the Mini is I am swapping the original grille trim surrounds for replacements that are fully gloss black. Now, after 12 or 13 years of wear and tear, the original clips have broken off and it needs to be replaced. And of course, I opted for a very good replacement, and I got it at KiaraShifts. It's a company from the UK. And a very good news, if you would like to get a discount, use the code KIARA10. You'll get a 10% discount on anything in the shop. I opted for these because I really like the quality of KiaraShifts. I've used many of their products already and I can really testify they're good. So let's install these original, very well made gloss black grille trim surrounds. Now then, to change the grill surrounds, we have a bunch of clips to remove. I'm not sure if I can show you this very well, but here there's a bunch of clips that need to be taken out. Most of them are already broken on this one, as you can tell by how loose it is. But at the bottom, we have to first take out the grill to be able to reach it here. So I'll do that first. And to do so, I have a special toolkit that looks like this. And it's just a bunch of picking tools, really. You can get this anywhere. And I do recommend getting this because it's a huge help to get out all of the millions of plastic parts that are on a Mini. Now let's first get the grill off. So, slide in there to get the inner part out. And then pop it out, just like so. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because this is what they look like. They are somewhat like a screw, a plastic screw, the inner part that expands it once it's in. So removing them is a bit of a job. That's one. These are just such a pain to get out. Okay, and there's one more. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one's even worse. You can't see it, I'll show you afterwards, but behind here there's two pincers that look like this and have to be squeezed to go through the holes. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so these two is what I meant. You have to squeeze them to be able to get them out. So I've just quickly taken out both the bottom and the top. They are just held in by clips that can be squeezed to then be pushed out, or just gently pushed up or down to get them out. So this is the lower one. It was wrapped, as you can see, the original color is silver or chrome, but it's very bad plastic quality. So, and the wrap was not looking good anymore either, so it needed to be replaced. And especially the top, you can now see the missing clips here. This used to be here. Yeah, it being broken is just not good anymore. Let's look at the replacement. These will definitely look much better. So I'll start with the top. And as you can see, they're just the same clips, but not broken yet. As well as actually on one side there's a screw, and the other side there's also one more. Just give it a quick wipe. Alright, on to the installation. So I have these two screws that need to go on either end, but first I'll just put in the clips. And they should just pop in nicely. Take a look. This is popped in, this popped in. These are all in, just not the screws yet. So I'll put them in, and then it'll be ready to go. Alright, that's in. Looking good, fitting really well. And there's no more gap like before. Alright, onto the lower side, and this should really be Just popping it in. Making sure all the clips are in the correct position. And that too is looking quite good. Now I'll just go ahead, put it back on the Mini. All done. With the front looking this good, of course the light needs to look as good as well. Now originally Mini have these yellow daylight light bulbs and they look awful. It is such an easy install to just swap those light bulbs for some really nice cool blue ones, and that's what we're doing next. To change the light bulbs, all you really need are the light bulbs that you want to put in. For me it's these Osram W5W in cool blue intense. I really like the look of these, I've used them before. Just whenever I go to the mechanic they seem to change or steal these and put on yellow ones. And this tool, if you don't have this tool, it's not too problematic. You might be able to twist the cap out, but I just need to turn the wheel right now so that I can reach it. With the wheel turned, I can now access the back of the daylight. So the daylight is right here, this one at the top, and the back of the inside of the wheel well, it has this plastic cover. All you need to do is twist it out. You can use this kind of tool, but you could also just use your fingers like this. You'll get it out. So it looks like this. Once it's out, it's out. And then just try and grab that upper light and then twist it, and there we go. So all I'm doing to change them is pull it out. As you can see, if you compare the two, that's quite a difference. Putting the blue one in there, making sure it's nicely positioned, and then squeezing it and twisting it back in. Then I'm just putting the cap back in. Twisting it to stay in place. And let's move on to the other side. If your cap is stuck, a tool like this really helps, because you can put it with these little knobs. You can just place it in there, and then you have enough power to be able to take it out. Yeah. And there we go. As you can see, sometimes just a small change makes all the difference. With this yellow light to blue light, I think the Mini just looks much more aggressive and racy and not so original anymore. Now let's do the same thing with other lights, namely the number plate lights, because they are also originally yellow, and while I don't have them original anymore, one of them died for me, so let me put in the new ones. Now, time to change the number plate lights. I've already taken the broken one out. My left one was broken. I have the same exact ones that I bought 5 years ago, and they lasted me a while, but unfortunately it just seemed to have corroded from water, something, I'm not quite sure. But the right one is still working fine. I'm replacing both though, just might as well. They are made by a company called Winpower. I'll of course link it in the description down below. And I'm really chuffed with these. I think they're great. They look really nice and they're LED. So these are very easy to change. All you need is a little screwdriver to pop them out, and for the rest, I'll show you. It's easiest if you open the boot, I'd say, because then you can look at it. So this one is broken. This one is still doing just fine. There's a little groove here, which just makes them pop out. And in there is the light bulb. Which is just bouncy, like this. So you can kind of tell it is a bit corroded, not looking that well anymore. This just happens after time. So these are the new ones. They do visually look better. I'll just pop them in. We'll take the other ones out too. I'll just try to remember that the right one is the red one and the left is black. So I'll put it back in just like that. Just squeeze it, push it in. Same thing goes for this side, just squeeze this part like that and push it in like that. It's very difficult to show you, but it's easy enough. It should look like this once you're done. And that was it already. 4 modifications, very little time and effort, and honestly it's quite inexpensive, but it makes all the difference. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you do any of these modifications as well, and I will see you in the next time. Goodbye.